Alright guys, patch version 3.7 actually got released earlier today, so I went ahead and I got some time in on Michelle, the newest hyper that was released. I'm gonna go over her skill set, her itemization. It's gonna be pretty short and simple, kind of to the point, because she's really straightforward. She's easy to pick up. I don't even want to say she's hard to master, because she's really not, but you'll see what I mean in just a second. In fact, I'm gonna go over the itemization on her first. So for her, I highly recommend that you get attack speed and crit. Whichever one you prefer to do the most of, it's up to you. The attack speed will kind of be boosted on one of her skills anyway, so it doesn't really matter how much attack speed you dump into her. It's going to, at a certain point, she's going to be attacking really fast once you activate her Q. So I went ahead and went with crit. So my boots are Crimson Sprinters, the crit rate plus 5% and the movement speed plus 50. On critical hit activates, you get your attack plus 2%, max at 5, so max 5%. Now her specific item is Special Colt Barrel. This one enhances her gun emplacement, which I will go over that skill shortly, but it also gives attack and defense bypass. The next thing that I usually go with her is Lightning Cross. It gives the attack, defense penetration, and critical rate percentage increase as well. Now, it also has a 15% chance to strike with lightning, doing continuous 106 damage up to 4 enemies. Now that might seem like a really low chance rate, the 15%, but you're firing really fast, so you definitely get the lightning striking more often than not. And of course, ESP Assault Rifle. Also crit rate and does do attack speed, but it increases the range of your auto attacks for ranged champions, which she definitely is. Then the Executioner's Cleaver, attack, max health, and defense penetration. You do want to get some health on her, so you're not just dropped easily and quick, because you are squishy regardless. And then attack and max health on Twilight's Call. The reason why I actually got this is because it inflicts a bleed. It does additional 2% of max health as damage per second for 3 seconds. It's not that strong on her, the additional effect, but it does help for those people that are trying to escape. They will bleed out, essentially. I actually have a game I recorded earlier. I might post that up later. Anyway, and then Twilight's Call. On critical hit, the enemy target's movement speed is slowed, so they can't really get away. That's pretty much the premise of that. Her passive is Hardened. Michelle receives the following effects. Defense increased by 15% of the attack, so the higher her attack, the more her defense is. Interference effect duration except for grapple, shut down, and listen closely is decreased by 20%. Her Q is gun emplacement. She actually just drops her machine gun down on a tripod. It does increase the attack speed, increase the critical rate percentage, and damage from enemies is reduced. You cannot move though. Now, her W places a trip mine. It does slow. You have no escapes with her aside from your dash. So just to let you know, and it does do, like you see a burning effect. Her E is a heal. She heals over time, but she can't move while she's doing it. She does she does a heal at the immediate when she wraps her arm, and then it heals over time, over the duration. Her A is reload. If you look up under your health bar, you have 20 shots with your gun. Okay? You hit A to reload. Now I wanna make one thing really clear with her reload. When she's just holding her machine gun, the reload is a lot faster than when it's down. When you have it down with your Q, the reload takes a little bit more time. Now to deactivate it, you have to hit Q. Once you do your gun emplacement, you have to hit Q to deactivate. Does not matter if you tap left or right, you will not move. You have to hit Q to deactivate. Her R, it gives her unlimited ammunition for a short period of time and ignores 10% of enemies' defenses. Iranian Rounds does 1.5 of max health damage per second for 3 seconds, so it also does a burnout or bleed, if you will. Now, all of her skills can be activated while she is in gun emplacement mode, but the thing you have to really be aware of is you can't move. You are trapped there once you do it, and it does take some time to get out of it. So you're there, you can't move. That animation cannot be canceled to move. You can't cancel it with a dash. You gotta let the animation finish. It might have looked like I canceled it with the dash, but no. The animation is done at that point. Alright. Now then. So there's not really combos really to go over. One of the things I will say to kind of enforce, they do say this on the patch notes. If you look at them, I'll go over patch notes another video though. You do want to kind of drop the mines before you set yourself up. Michelle is one of the best, in my opinion, backline DPSs in this game as of right now. Because if you have a good tank or anyone with good CC, You can sit far in the back and just unload on people. This is her normal attack speed, pretty slow. When she does the gun, that's her attack speed with that. You can reload while you're there. You can heal. You can mine. Reload. You can even put your uranium rounds. Everything that you can do with her can be done with the empowerment. Or emplacement, I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to show you what I mean about this particular item up here, the lightning cross. Alright? It doesn't seem like... that 15% again seems like a low percentage, but you're firing so often, it happens very often. Within one clip, I got like 3 of those off. And it does up to 4 enemies, so if they're all close together, you're going to be knocking them out. Now, mind you, it does count minions, so again, careful with that. Now, the empowerment with the emplacement on this particular thing is it lowers its cooldown, increases the critical rate, and decreases damage taken. So it helps when you're sitting in there and you know you're in your gun emplacement and you're just trying to fire off rounds and someone's coming in on you. Honestly, that's pretty much it for her. I just want to give you a few tips and tricks with her. Like I said, when you're in emplacement, you can do all your skills and whatnot. One thing I would like to kind of get in your heads, when you're in emplacement, if you can't continue to just sit here, you need to reload, you need to get away, get out of emplacement, reload on the fly, and then by the time you're done, you should be able to put up your second emplacement. You always want to make sure that you have mines kind of guarding you. What I like to do when I'm in game is if I'm in an area where I know I can get jumped down from the top off of a ladder, or an area where they can just drop down, or if there's a ladder coming up the bottom, I place a mine right by the ladder where they can go up or down, or where if they're going to come down from the top, I place a mine right there, set it up, and I'm ready to go. Now, with people that do burn, like Inisha, or saying her name wrong, I know that, burn or bleed effects, the first aid actually removes those. So that's one thing you really want to take into consideration. If you're being bled out or burning, you can activate this, and it will remove those negative effects from your hyper. And she'll be able to just keep going. That really helps with her sustain, which is why I don't really build lifesteal on her. I don't really need it. You really won't either, unless you just want that extra sustain with the attack damage. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for our items and skill guide. I know this one was like really short, but let's just do a quick recap. You definitely want to build attack. Obviously, she's a striker. I suggest crit and a little bit of attack speed, not a lot. One item is good for that, because again, her gun emplacement increased the attack speed by itself. Plenty, trust me, plenty. Anything, if you're doing like a whole bunch of attack speed items, you're just being excessive, honestly. Go for crit, go for movement speed as far as the boots are concerned. I really don't recommend anything other than these. You can interchange all these items out, of course. You can pick a different one of her personalized items that'll help you with your playstyle. But she is really good at tower sieging. If you can get the enemy team off the tower and just clear it out, or you can sit far back enough after you have the assault rifle leveled up where you're out of tower range and you can actually just keep shooting through them and hitting the tower and hitting the tower and hitting the tower. There is an item I normally put on my strikers, Breath of Fire, I believe it's called, but it does not really work that well on her because you're not proccing her skills that much. The skill you use the most with her is going to be your reload and your heal. So that's not going to get that bonus attack damage on the auto attack if you're not using skills that actively. Anyway, guys, this was a really short and really basic tutorial. I know I'm usually a lot more in depth, but again, she's not that tricky of a character. With these basics, you'll be able to master her and get to know her and make her into your playstyle. All you have to do is find that good setup, a good spot to just snipe people out. If you have good communication with your team, this is going to be one of the easiest characters to carry with because she is a monster. Anyway, have a good day, morning, noon, or night, whatever it may be. Get a good JOHOHO in there, maybe some coffee, and I promise you it'll be better. I will catch you on the next one.